Thank you very much, Ambassador Wadawara. Yeah, namaskar. Yeah, so it is really my pleasure to be invited to this symposium today. I am currently Chief Rep of the JICA India office, and prior to my appointment here, as Ambassador Wadawara said, that I was in charge of the South Asia in Tokyo. And I was involved in the promoting the regional cooperation, especially in India, Bhutan, Bangladesh, and Nepal. And as such, I have been involved in the development of cooperation in the Northeast region and the regional cooperation almost 10 years. And I'm very glad to see that Japan's support for the Northeast region is now in almost full swing. And that regional cooperation with neighboring countries has become reality. And today I'd like to quickly talk about three things. First one is why Japan is providing support to the Northeast and regional cooperation. And the second is what kind of cooperation Japan is extending at this moment. And the third one is what are the future challenges in this context. And the first topic is why we are extending the cooperation in the Northeast, because one is for the geographic and the geopolitical reasons, and other is for the economic and social development context. And the geographic and the geopolitical significance of the region is really obvious. It is a really horizontal nexus between ASEAN countries and India. And it is located in the middle of the vertical line between the Bhutan, Nepal, and Bangladesh. And the presence of Japan and India collaboration on the Northeast can also demonstrate the relationship with the neighboring countries, which has border issues with India. So I believe that the decisive factor in Japan's support for the Northeast region in India was the democratization of Myanmar in 2011. Until then, Japan's official development assistance was limited to Myanmar since the country was under military rule. Maybe now also. And with the democratization of the country, the restrictions were lifted, and Japan resumed its normal official development assistance to Myanmar after that. In other words, it became possible to provide financial and technical cooperation for the public project, such as transportation and electricity in the Myanmar. So I remember my feeling then that the situation there just opened the gate to Myanmar from the northeast of India. And the perspective was that through cooperation in the northeast, we could enhance the connectivity with ASEAN, with India. Since we have been also involved in the development of Myanmar and the Mekong region, I was delighted to see that India is now connecting to the east-west economic corridor in Mekong area that is extended from the Vietnam to Myanmar. The reasonable support in context of the economic and social development in the Northeast region, maybe I don't have to say a lot. And it is true that this region is generally backward, and the state per capita GDP, road pavement rate, electrification rate, and so on, is just maybe lower than the other region. So, so this region is inland and also the mountainous and not easily accessible to the transportation. And this factor has affected to the progress of industrialization in general. So as a development cooperation agency, this is just exactly the reason why we'd like to support this region. And when I started working with India, I realized that there was not much support for the Northeast region until then. And I had a strong will to increase the volume of support as much as possible. And while the Northeast has the many attractive features, such as a diverse race, ethnics, cultures, and abundant natural resources, the security factor has been a major cause in hindering the development effort at the time. This is including the issue of ethnic identity and the conflict over the state border. Maybe I don't have to touch upon a lot. And when I had a road trip in the Northeast region in the 2013, I noticed that the road managed by the military agency. And Japan's ODA is not allowed to cooperate with the military. So we need to consider the support based on this limitation. And as for security situation, in my understanding that it has improved a lot in this region. And it also had a great impact on the full-scale support of development. This is a very fortunate situation at this moment. And the second point, my talk is about what kind of the support we are currently providing. And firstly, we focus on the project that strengthen the connectivity of the state. Many people have already mentioned. And the flow of the goods and the services is a major factor in economic activities. For this reason, good transportation infrastructure is a prerequisite. And currently, we are cooperating with the Ministry of Road and Highways to support the development of the national highway in Northeast region, like you know. And as the ambassador mentioned that currently the Duburi Puribar Bridge over the Prapsara River is almost launched. And the bridge is a 20-kilometer long river bridge that connects Assam and Meghalaya. We know that there is a desire in Bhutan to use the Chittagong port in Bangladesh. And we believe that these national highway projects will contribute to the large logistics network in the region. The region is also rich in forest resources, so we are supporting the sustainable resource management and the production activities such as the bamboo craft there. And the JICA is providing support in the forest resource management in more than 20 states in India. And currently in the Northeast region, we have supported projects in Sikkim, Tripura, Meghalaya, and Nagaland. So in addition to such kind of like a sector, we are currently planning to provide support for the medical and health project in Mizoram and Assam. And the Northeast region has a lot of different potential, and the medical tourism from neighboring countries is one of them, in our understanding. And we can observe many patients from Myanmar coming to hospital in Aizawl in Mizoram and the Impal in Manipur. So if the accessibility of the border is improved, the number of the patients from the other countries will increase with the very improved access. Yeah. And finally, I'd like to talk about the future challenges. And the first is the effectiveness of the project. And the international organization requires due procedure, including a lot of the documentation. And it is sometimes the burden for the executive agencies. Unless state government organizations have enough capacity to implement them, the project will be delayed or stopped. So we would like to avoid such a situation. And the second issue is coordination among the states. And one of the not so good habit of the foreign organization is to see the Northeast as a single entity. And each state has its own ethnic composition, population, climate, major industries, and so on. And not all the states have close relation with each other. And when the region is built as a single mass, it is really necessary to develop systems and mechanisms that enable foreign assistance to function effectively. This is the second point. And the third point is the relationship with the neighboring countries. Regional connectivity is beneficial to the war, and the countries have different priorities for the development project. So in other words, even if you build a road up the border, the neighboring country may not distribute the budget for the road building along the border. Maybe they think that the other development projects like power generation and irrigation, for example, are more prioritized. So it is true that the coordination in the area has already started among stakeholders, but I think it is really necessary for each government to agree on the regional connectivity project as a flagship project in which each country put emphasis. Okay, so let me conclude. So in view of the importance of the development of the Northeast, JICA will continue to provide support in accordance with the policy of the Japanese government. And we hope that the successful project will be accumulated and the result of the support to the Northeast will be visible, so that the development will become bigger stream in near future. So thank you so much.